Hey guys, today we aren't going to be looking at anything new per se. We're going to be re-looking at something. We're going to be re-looking at the Transformers shows, and not really re-looking at it, but I just want to make this video revamping it, sort of remastering my old video that I did about a year ago, year and a half ago, I think, year ago. And that's what this video is for. I want to put the same love and care that I did for the Brave series into that video, because at that point I didn't know how to edit and do all these sorts of clips and everything, but now I somewhat do. It's not really good. I don't edit a lot for a reason, but I know how to now, and I want to add that extra degree of care into that video. So that's what I'm doing here today. I'm just explaining what I'm doing. So this is a new segment, and then I'm going to do a new segment on Energon, because there really wasn't a segment on Energon. That was just like I added it in at the beginning of this second part, and I'm going to actually remake or make a new one and then post it where it's supposed to be, edit it where it's supposed to be. And I do remember everything about Energon, so I don't need to rewatch the entire show. Not like I'm gonna, but yeah, I just want to do this just because it's just a thing for me, just because I'm very proud of that video, very proud of the list. I'm very happy with it, but I just want to take a bit more care with it, just because I have the knowledge that I do of being able to make it a better video. So that's really what I'm going to do, and both halves of the video, part 1 and part 2, are now going to be meshed together. So, but other than me meshing the two together and cutting out little snippets of pauses and things like that, and adding in some things, and then obviously some clips, there's absolutely nothing that is different. I'm not redoing any of it. I'm not redoing any of the slots. I'm just editing and fixing the genuine video. I'm not gonna redo it. I'm not gonna redo the entire thing, because I'm happy with it. I really like it. I'm super proud of it. So I'm gonna leave the video the way it is, and I'm just gonna change a couple of things to shine it up, make it a bit nicer. So that's the plan for this video. So yeah. G2. G2 is just all it is they changed the intro, the transition and the transition and intro in G1. That's all that was changed. There was nothing changed in G1, so it was very pointless. Once again, like the line, they did a lot of recoloring. Hardly did very much of anything to the line. There was a lot of cool stuff, but in the early days, there wasn't too much new. So yeah, that's why G2 is at the very, very bottom, because it was just very, very pointless and was not needed. Because it was literally just Generation 1 with different transitions. That's all it was. So yeah, I don't need to spend too much time on it. It's so bland. Dialogue is crap. It reminds me more of like a Power Rangers Super Sentai thing, because the mouths don't move on any of the mouths don't move, to my recollection, on any of the Transformer models, like of the actual robots. They reused a lot of lines, a lot of scenes, a lot of dialogue, I think. It's only 8 episodes long, and nearly half of it, nearly half of the entire show, which is 8 episodes, so like 4 episodes, is, like reshot scenes that you already saw before. The ending, you can have a crummy show or a crummy movie. If you just stick the ending, someone will be like, hey, that was a good movie just by the ending. Because that should be the climax and go. It was just not that. It was very boring, very drawn out for what it should have been. It was boring. They did it twice. They reused the exact same scene, changed up a little bit of things, but I just do not like it. It's very boring, bland. Like, they're so lazy they couldn't even animate different scenes. So yeah, I just was not a fan of it. So yeah, it's probably the objectively worst one. So RID 2015. Um, Looking back at it, the toys I can accept. You know, it's basically like what Earthspark is doing, just more kid focused toys. And when I was sort of getting the toys, I was more narrow minded. I was more narrow minded as a collector, or even just playing with them. I thought that these are crap, but whatever. We're not talking about the toy line. But the show, it was not that. The show was the dialogue is cringy. I'm not the biggest fan of the art direction. I don't hate it, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. The fact that it has to keep reminding you that it is a follow-up to Prime, Transformers Prime, you know, ask nearly anyone, and their favorite show is either going to be G1, Beast Wars, or Prime. And the fact that RID is so crap compared to Prime, and then it has to constantly remind you that it's supposed to be related to Prime, it's a follow-up to Prime, it's just trying to constantly get out of that shadow of Prime, but it's using Prime to show that, hey, I'm still good, but it's not, it's bad. It was so bad, in my opinion, when I was younger, and still now, that it made me not want to watch, not make me not want to watch Cyberverse, but it made me think that Cyberverse, was going to be a horrible show. When I saw it come out, I didn't watch it till here recently, like 6 months ago, or however many months ago. It just made me just really I don't know how to say it. It just sets my standards so low that I thought Cyberverse was going to be bad, and that's why it was so refreshing when I came to it now to watch it. So yeah, RID just ruined ruined my standards. I was excited for it, thought it was cool, you know, like, I don't know, I thought it was cool, but just didn't hit it for me. And then when I went to rewatch, like, the final ending with, like, Starscream, those episodes hadn't made it on Netflix, and I was like, you know, I'm done with the series, I'm done watching it. I saw the episode on YouTube, I wanted to watch it on Netflix, but just wasn't on there at the moment that I was looking at it, and I was like, you know what, this is probably a sign that I should be done. Combiner Wars, I have some Combiner Wars toys, but I don't have one right here. Just not a fan of the art direction, not a fan of the voice acting, not a fan of the dialogue. The action is horrible. Everything about the Prime Wars trilogy is horrible, and if you've watched it, you probably agree with me. Power of the Primes, I do, once again, have, I think I have, yes, I have Ripper Snapper, Power of the Primes Ripper Snapper. Same thing, just the only thing about this is that it went a little bit cooler with the story direction, like different characters, different ideas, I don't know. The fact that Overlord's in it, wait, no, that's Titan's Return, I think. I don't know, the fact that, I think, dang it, Optimus Primal was voiced by Ron Perlman, I think that's how you say his name. That was pretty cool, but other than that, same thing. Not a very good finale to the frankly good toy line of War for Cybertron. I am just not a very big fan of Kingdom. It's the worst out of the trilogy, in my personal opinion. They had to wrap up so much at the very end, and yet they still added in stuff that they wanted. You know, they added in stuff that was pointless when they should have been wrapping up stuff that had already been established. Really, the only thing good about it is the fact that Dinobot's in it, and they made him have a heroic sacrifice once again. That's really the only good thing about it. You know, like, there's so much, and then they left it off on a cliffhanger, basically. I was just not a fan of it. Siege, I remember it coming out. I was a little, it wasn't horrible, and it's not horrible. I still watch it, but there's a lot of dumb stuff that goes on, like the fact that Ultra Magnus is such a wimp. Not the greatest fan of the voice acting. Same thing with Kingdom, and obviously Earthrise. The whole Allspark thing, that was kind of dumb. Moonracer, her character was dumb. Literally showed up, died, in the span of like a minute. Omega Supreme, the Titan class toy of the line, hardly showed up. That was kind of dumb. Just I liked the more gritty approach to it with like the more war torn aesthetic of Cybertron, but it was just pretty mediocre in my personal opinion. I completely forgot this. Um, Titan's Return is not above Siege, but basically the exact same thing. Reasons for the other two Prime Wars trilogy shows, just horrible voice acting, horrible dialogue. Fight scenes are trash. The fact that Emissary is separate from Fortress Maximus, I don't know, man. Uh, Either way, I might, this could be above Siege, this could be below Siege. I don't know. I don't know. Earthrise, Transformers Earthrise. I like the idea of the Quintessons, Double Dealer, all these more obscure characters like the Mercenaries, but of course, all the cool ideas like the flippin' like gulag that Megatron puts all his soldiers into, but I think they just dropped the ball. They had so many ideas, so many cool ideas. The Quintessons, all the Mercenaries, so many like Z Team characters that no one remembers or no one knows, and they just got rid of them. They didn't even use them. And the dead universe or whatever shouldn't have included that. Just too much to add in. The weird reasoning to put Skylinks into it. I don't know. Just it was introducing Galvatron. Him talking to Megatron, all that. I like the cool aspect of them finding Scorponok, like how he was enslaved or something. But overall, it was all over the place. Like, they had a lot of ideas, but they just couldn't keep it together, and they couldn't just wrap them up. I liked the fact that they sacrificed Cog and gave him like a sort of like cool sacrifice at the end, but that was like the coolest thing, most notable thing that I could say. Alright, so here we are at Energon. This is the one I missed last time. I can't even remember, I can't even know why I missed it. But here we are again. And to be frank, the show really didn't deserve a spot last time because it's so bad. Well, it's not that bad. Comparing it to Go and the Prime Wars trilogy and even the WFC trilogy, it has some cool ideas. It has some cool characters and concepts and things like that. But don't get me wrong, this show is awful. Like, it's still super bad. I really, really, really do not like it because the sole thing is that it's so boring. Is that, as you'll see later on, is that there is, there are shows that are shows, movies, all sorts of content and stuff that that are just bad and people like them to laugh at, But this show isn't like that. It's just boring. The characters are uninspired. The villains aren't really good. Megatron isn't cool. No one's really cool in this show. And to be frank, a lot of them are kind of annoying. The dialogue is poor. The subbing is okay. I mean the dubbing, not the subbing. I didn't watch the subtitled Japanese version. I watched the dub. And it's okay. Obviously, there are some parts where it's a little wonky, but you should kind of expect that with any dub. But overall, it's just a very boring show. And then, that's just my biggest thing with it, is that it's so cringy and so hard to watch. That's one thing, but I'm cringing and I'm bored at the same time. So I can't even be interested to laugh at it for being super bad. And that was what really had me drag my feet on it. It was one of the last shows that I watched, and there's 54 episodes. 54 episodes in a show like Energon. And it would just, it made it super difficult for me to even continue watching it because it was so boring. I wish I had just like jumped around and not watched all the episodes, but I did. But yeah, just especially after watching all the other shows and seeing how good they are, or at least that I could see something in them. But I can see why people pick on Energon a lot because it's just super boring and bad. Is like I don't know where the disconnect was from Armada and Energon, and then really far away when it came to Cybertron following it up. The Headmasters, man. Um, it's I watched the dub, which is horrible. Don't watch the dub. Watch the sub. The dub is awful. Um, it greatly decreased the value of the show. If you watch it, watch the sub, not the dub. Um, it just was very bland. It was very boring. Just reminded me too much of G1 without the like kookiness, I thought. So it's essentially G1, and I just watched it, and the dub didn't help, but I just watched it, and I was like, this is kind of redundant at this point, redundant, I couldn't get into it, just felt too much like G1, but worse somehow, I don't know. So in the original video, I also had forgotten about Beast Wars Neo. And Beast Wars Neo, and this is where it is going to place. And Beast Wars Neo, I watched it directly after Beast Wars the Second, and because it's supposed to be a sequel, I think. Um, I'm pretty sure it is. But Beast Wars Neo, I do kind of like the idea. It's sort of like an Academy show, but like older, like before every Academy show was there. Because Big Convoy, he's this like like he's called the one man army in the show, and then he has to get stuck teaching a bunch of kids, like young Maximals, how to fight or explore or whatever, and then he just hates it because he doesn't like doing it, and that sort of aspect is good, but it doesn't do it in the right way. You don't feel like he's connected, or even he's harsh enough to disconnect from those characters. But the villains are really uninspired. The plot is kind of whack. Um, the whole ending is cool and dumb, and it's a cool idea, but it's executed very, very poorly. It's not super fun. I don't really know how to explain the ending. I just know how to say that it's not really great to watch, but it's done, but the concept of it is cool, and I like that. But overall, Beast Wars Neo is an okay show. That's what I would really say about it. It's just okay, especially compared to Beast Wars the Second, and even Beast Wars in general. Is just okay, and compared to the other shows on the list, it's just an okay show. It's not great. It's not bad by any means. It's just a little bland. It's just a little like out there. Like the plot's okay, but it's not great. Like I've just been saying that for like 2 minutes. Is that it's not great? It's not great. It has cool ideas, but it's not great. But honestly, it is. I would say if you really want to watch it, go right ahead and watch it. But if you're watching this video to choose and see what I really have to say and recommend, I really, really would not recommend this show. It's just a little boring and just a little bland and not really fun. To me at least, it's not my favorite. It's just okay. It's not great by any means, but it's definitely okay. But I think number one, I think Transformers the Second didn't need a sequel series, but I think they could have done way better if they were going to do it. So that's what I think about or Beast Wars Neo. So this is where they stand. Cyber Missions, it's between the first movie and like Revenge of the Fallen, I think. But it's a very, it's very, very, it's very, very bad, very, very bad. But that's why it's so good. Is it so bad that it's funny? The episodes are like 4 minutes long, and there's like 13 of them. I suggest going and watching them on YouTube. Just Google, look up Transformers Cyber Missions. It will come up with them, with the episodes, and they're very, very bad quality, but they're so funny that that's why they're so high, and that's pure. I don't know. That's all I have to say. Rescue Bots Academy. It's a good show. I didn't watch the entire thing because I just knew it was gonna be like all those other Academy shows, younger kid Academy shows. I watched the first couple of episodes of it. It's a good show. Good dialogue for what it's worth. Good animation. I do not like the redesigns of the original cast. From flipping Rescue Bots. I don't like how they redesigned Heatwave, Boulder, Chase, Blades, and Optimus. And I bet Bumblebee. I think I saw Bumblebee. I can't remember, but I don't like how they redesigned them. But everything else was pretty good. Just it felt very much like the whole genre of the like Academy stories. So I didn't watch the entire thing. And I love the show. It's fun, it's funny, it's serious at times. The ending is a little meh. The ending's kind of bad. Ending is not very good, but it's a good show altogether. It's a good show. It's not the greatest show, to like, I wouldn't say, it's a show that you don't really care to watch in order. You just watch it, have fun with it, just watch whatever episode, you like. The Combaticons, not the Combaticons, the Decepticons, they're very funny. The one where Movors in space, that's a very funny one. Skybite, absolutely love Skybite. There's a reason why people love the show and the toys. So yeah, highly recommend that one. And, so yeah. Okay, so at number 13, we have Transformers Cyberverse. And Cyberverse is a very, very nice show. As I said in my RID 2015 segment in the last video about the shows, I thought that they were going to completely ruin this show due to my expectations of that one. But I watched it here, I think last year, obviously. And I loved it. It was a very nice show. They ran it on just long enough. They shouldn't have kept running it. The episodes, they were about 10 minutes, it was a very, very nice show. Just wasn't bad, and it had a lot of, not a lot of nice things in it. A lot of, like G1 cues, a lot of cues from different universes, different shows, different things like that. And it was very, very neat, very, very cool. And it's probably one of the better shows of the modern era. I haven't seen Earthspark, as I've probably said, so I can't say anything about that. But Cyberverse is still somewhat new, and it's a pretty good show. Beast Machines, it was good. It was pretty good. Dialogue is pretty good. Voice acting is obviously really good because all the cast from Beast Wars shows back up. Plot was pretty good. It was a little heavy for looking at it in like a perspective of a young kid. It was, pretty heavy about like society and like bettering your society. A little heavy, but still pretty followable. One of the biggest things, the character designs, not the animation, the designs. The designs, I'm not a big fan of. I wish they stuck a little bit more to what the Beast Wars looked like. The Beast Wars character designs looked like. Not horrible, not going to throw a fit about it. I'm not going to be like the people that threw a fit about the Bayformers, the Bayverse, and all that. But
it was very different to see the character models, character designs in Beast Machines. But overall, other than that, that's really like the only thing that I truly have to say about it. But everything else isn't bad. Pretty good show, but it is a little heavy for kids. Like, bettering of your society, kind of a little deep. But yeah, that's really all I have to say about it. Transformers Zone. Uh, the supposed to be very last part of the G1 Japanese continuity. It was good. It's basically a short movie. It's not really a show, but it's classified as a show. Very good. Short. Once again, you can watch it in like an hour. But yeah, it's cool. The bad thing is that they didn't have that many toys to work with. They're like it's just Diatlas, Sonic Bomber, Sky Gary, and like I think like another one like Fire something. I don't know. And then Micromasters, and then the made up Decepticon Generals. Because they had to sell toys still, but there were no toys to sell other than the Micromasters and the Powered Masters. So yeah, that was a little bit of a bummer. The very beginning was very cool with Star Saber, Victory Saber, I should say, like swooping in and saving those people on that planet, and then getting mortally wounded. Very very cool. But yeah, for a show that's practically 30-40 minutes, you can't really it's good for what it is, but if it was drawn out for more than like 30-40 minutes, it probably would have had to go down. But yeah, still not horrible, but little not really iffy, but just a little weird. Super God Master Force. And Super God Master Force, it is in my personal opinion, it is much better than the Headmasters. Even looking at the Headmasters as the subbed version, the subtitled version, not the dub. What I watched, um, Super God Master Force is kind of a bit all over the place. But the characters, I love Jinrai. I love Jinrai. I love his character. I love the characters. I love Overlord. Um, Plot, is a little weird, little different. The fact that no one knows about the Transformers, that's a little weird. Uh, and coincidentally, there is a guy that looks like Optimus Prime, and no one knows about him. Obviously just to sell this toy in a different way. But I still liked it. I still really liked the show. It was cool. I really love Black Zarak, and I love Grand Maximus. Love the recolorings of those toys. I especially, once again, as I said, the character of Jinrai, love it. Yeah, I think it was cool that when Devil Z, I like to say Devil Z because there's a bit more to say, but it's technically Devil Z where I live. Um, is that when he dies in the form when he like possesses Black Zarak, when he dies because of God Jinrai, the Transtectors become sentient, like God Jinrai or Jinrai, whatever, Lightfoot and the other ones. I don't know their names, but I really thought that was cool. And the Fire Cons appeared, that was cool. It was a pretty good show all around. You don't really have to watch it all in order, but I'd say I don't know. Just a very good show to watch. Really nice show. I liked it. A little weird, but I liked it. And there was such a mishmash of stuff. There were Pretenders, Power Masters, Headmasters, the Fire Cons. It was all over the place with showing off the toys of that year. So yeah, they just were like, you know what? We're gonna make a show to showcase all these toys with all these different gimmicks and stuff. So yeah, we'll just make a weirdo, wacky show to show off these toys. So yeah, very much get that feel. So yeah, here we are, G1. G1, obviously, pretty good show. I see it somewhat as middle of the road. Fairly good show. It's not horrible. It's pretty good, not completely good. Um, I grew up watching it. I love the show. I have a lot of nostalgia for it. But I am willing to say that some of the things are not perfect. Specifically, animation errors. Animation errors are definitely the plague of the show. Most certainly. I love the fact that the show, you just jump in wherever you are. Don't have to worry about any sort of continuity because it was just all over the place. Didn't matter. Just didn't have to worry about any of the stuff. Love how how vast it expanded in the 3 years that 3 to 4 years that the show was running, and it never stopped running till like the late '90s when Beast Wars was on air. But it was so vast. Like they explored Cybertron, Unicron, the Quintessons, the origins of the Autobot Decepticon War, the origins of the Cybertronians. They explored everything, and definitely laid the foundations for a lot of things. There are a lot of plot holes, there are a lot of animation errors, but it is a very good show looking at it as a show. That really doesn't make sense. But you can see what made the Transformers successful. Obviously, the Marvel Comics was very successful, but you can definitely see where a lot of the nostalgia for the original show comes from. It shows. It's just fun. Everything's fun. You don't have to follow much. You just just gives me the vibes of being in 1984, turning the TV on and just seeing a show, not even worrying about what's going on, and just seeing something fun happen. So yeah, that is definitely the appeal of Cybertron. You don't have to pay too much attention to it. There's no big, vast plot of the entire show. It's just dumb fun, and I like that. Armada. Armada is pretty good. It's much better than Energon. But some of the dialogue is a little wacky and weird, but not horrible, not like Energon. It was a very good starting point. A lot of fans got into this was the other than like RID 2015 and Beast Wars, not 15, 2001 and Beast Wars. Armada really kickstarted the Transformers franchise back up in the 2000s, and it really shows because we're getting Armada toys and Legacy, specifically a new Commander. But I really like I like the show. The fact that the more simplistic, like hunting for minicons, it's cool in the sense of like having just sort of like Pokemon, the success of that. I know that's like the whole premise of it. That's what people say for like why it's ruined or like the whole premise of it. But that's how I have to say it, is that it's basically like G1 and a lot of shows that I've already covered, is that you just jump on when you're a kid and wherever the episode's at, you just watch it. You don't have to worry about some big thing, this big overarching plot. There obviously is, but that's like the last like 3 episodes. Absolutely love. I watched it many a times, even before I watched the entire show. The final battle between Galvatron and Optimus, absolutely loved that. I love the voice acting. I love the voice acting for Thrust. I love the voice acting for Unicron. I love quite a bit of it. And it's just something, just like a couple of these things on the list, but this is the most notable one, is that I didn't grow up with it. I didn't grow up watching it, so it was just definitely a new thing. I knew Armada existed, and a couple of years ago I wanted to watch it, but I never, I never experienced it. And then watching through it, it was a bit more bland than what I initially thought it was, but it's definitely one of the better shows. Okay, now people are gonna want to put my head on a spike for this, putting Rescue Bots above Armada, G1, RID 2001, things like that. People are gonna want me dead for this, but I grew up with in my later years, even not even like kid. I was younger. I mean, I was young, but I wasn't old when the show came out. I watched it. I loved it. I love, they're brand new characters, except for like Bumblebee, Optimus Prime, all that. Love the fact that Peter Cullen reprised Optimus Prime in the show. I think it's Peter Cullen, if I'm not mistaken. But I love the new characters: Boulder, Blades, Chase, Heatwave. Love the human characters. Love the fact that it's more the pedestrian side of the Autobots. Sort of like um, sort of like the blue collar workers of the Autobot ranks, like the technicians, the lifesavers. Not everyone is fighting in the war. Sort of like how real military works. There are people fighting on the front when there are people also helping civilians, and technicians fixing people. It's more in depth in that sort of sense, and I just like it. I love the voice acting, love the dialogue, and it's not that like kiddish. It doesn't like dumb things down for kids. It doesn't hurt that much for kids. Like, it's still something that you can enjoy as an adult. And they sold a bunch of toys, and it is actually, I think, the longest running Transformers show. Against even against G1, obviously not toy line wise, but longest running show. That has to say something. That people and kids were still watching this show years past it came out. It had only been taken off of Netflix, I think, like 1 or 2 years ago, and it started. Let's see if I can find a date on this. Probably not. I don't know, but still, for many, many years, it had been on Netflix, and that has to show it. It's a good show. Everyone likes the show. Kids like the show. It's nostalgic for me. It's a just plain good show. Transformers Prime, once again, has been on Netflix for years. I think it still might be on Netflix. I'm fairly nostalgic for it. And my mom loves it. It's my mom's favorite show in the franchise. When she grew up she grew up watching G1, so yeah, she loves it more than G1. Everyone loves this show. Every person loves this show. And if there isn't someone that loves the show, they at least like it. And there's probably no one in the world that hates it. So yeah, that has to say something. Me personally, it takes number 6. Just the next 5 it was very close. It was a complete like match. Like it was like, I don't know how to describe it, but I don't really have too much to say for this. Just listen to anyone who likes this. Just look at the numbers, people. The ones that everyone loves is G1 and Prime. Don't have to go into a big segment talking about this, talking about the show. Everyone loves it. I like it. Here we are at the top 5. And at the 5th spot, we have one of the holy trinities of my childhood when it comes to the Transformer shows. Cybertron. Cybertron is awesome. The toy line is awesome. The show was awesome. Everything about Cybertron is awesome. Everything about it. They blended story. It's different from, it creates a lot of plot holes, after, it creates an awful lot of plot holes when it comes to tying it together with Energon, but that doesn't matter. As a show, the voice acting is superb. The character designs are awesome. The dialogue is awesome. Everything about it. The setting. They knew that this show they wanted this to be the last show. Obviously, it was going to be the last show, and they wanted to knock it out of the park. They wanted to knock the ball so far that it would wrap back around into the stadium. And they did it. They made an awesome show. They made an awesome toy line. Just the only thing that I have to gripe about is that they left it on a cliffhanger, I'd say, of them leaving and of all the Autobots, Decepticons, Velocitronians, Gigantians, Jungle Planidians, I don't know. splitting up all over the place to complete the space bridge that their ancestors worked on. Finish the story, please! I know there's probably a comic out there that explains it, but I want the rest of the show to finish it off. Obviously, it was already very satisfying finishing the show like that, destroying the black hole and crushing Galvatron. All that. It's still awesome. The ending is superb. But just finish it. I really want it to be finished. And once again, new toys, please. Is Beast Wars the second. And of all the things you're probably wondering, Beast Wars the second, come on. Beast Wars the second, I love. I showed a couple of episodes to my mom. She loved them. I love it. The show's just funny. Everything's funny about it. Just watch it. You'll have fun with it. You'll have fun with it. That's the whole point of the show. It's just to have fun with it. It was meant for kids. And you could tell that the people design it, that wrote the show, everything about the show, just wanted to have fun. They wanted to give the kids a laugh. They didn't want some gritty war thing or in-depth plot. They just wanted to make a really super fun show. And that's what I love about it. Every time I show my mom I can't remember what the episode is, but it's where the Joynatrons capture Scylla. No, the Joynatrons invite Thrust and Dirge into the maximal base, and it is just wild. My mom, she laughs nearly every time because it's just so dumb. And it's funny. It's an awesome show. The ending is a little... the last couple of episodes are a little out there, but either way. For basically 30 episodes, all of it is nearly good. So yeah. Animated. Everyone loves animated, and I love it. I haven't seen the entire show. I've seen most of it. Voice acting, character designs. Character designs are actually really good. Dialogue, fights, everything about it is awesome. The reimaginings, the Easter eggs / references like to G1 and other things. I love it. I love animated. I think of G1, Prime, and animated. Animated is easily on top. You could tell that the writers and everyone were like, we need to make something completely different, but we need to keep it familiar, adding in all the G1 references, like the Metroplex and Fortress Maximus, cities. Awesome. Love it. Love everything about animated. Number 2, Transformers Victory. It is an awesome show in the entirety of G1, excluding the Beast Wars parts, but the Japanese G1 continuity, it is the best. It is the most awesome. It is the coolest, grittiest. Everything about it is awesome. Everything about Victory is awesome. Voice acting, I don't really care about the voice acting. I can't, voice acting, I guess dialogue, I don't speak Japanese. I remember I was in school and I watched the show, no headphones in, just hit mute, would read it. And if a teacher came over, I'd be like, well, I'm reading, but I'm really watching a show. But it was an awesome show. Love the ending, love the toys, love everything about Victory. Every little bit about Victory. It is the show that of all the shows that you should watch, you need to watch Victory. It's on YouTube. Get on there, watch a couple of episodes. It is the most awesome show, except it's Beast Wars. Beast Wars is the ultimate show. The greatest show to have ever blessed the Transformers community of the ones that I've seen. It is the greatest, the best. It completely saved the franchise. And it's awesome. They knew that they wanted to make a good toy line, a good show. Everything about Beast Wars was going to be awesome. And I don't like it when people are like, oh, G1's better. Literally, Beast Wars is attached and builds upon G1. Why do you think Optimus Prime Megatron? Why do you think Optimus Primal became Optimal Optimus? He saved Optimus Prime's life. Literally everything about Beast Wars is built upon the things of G1. Everything about Beast Wars is awesome. Just like Victory, watch Beast Wars. Everything about it. Especially Code of Hero. I love Dinobot. Dinobot's my favorite character, and Code of Hero was a perfect episode for him. Um, uh, Dang it, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, when I was young, I only had the season 1 disc set, and it had been years since I could see season 2 and 3, and I watched the entire thing in a couple of days because I loved it that much, and I still love it that much. Beast Wars takes number 1. End of story.
Oh, that's that. And, once again, even just redoing the intro and redoing doing Beast Wars Neo and Energon for real, like actually not just redoing the entire video to get them in their spots, but just being able to actually put them where they're supposed to be and take the time to make the video that I wanted it to be, because I watched Paper Plane's video on this whenever it came out. I've watched it like many a times because it's one of my favorite videos of all time, and that's where I also got the influence for the Brave series and obviously this one. So this whole concept of me ranking all the Brave shows, Brave shows and the Transformers shows, but mainly the Transformers shows, and I've said it in the original videos, but I got this idea from Paper Plane, so I did not think this up, or there's probably been a million people that have already done it, but this is the guy who inspired me to do it first, or he was the YouTuber that got me to do it. There's probably, like I said, a million people that have done this, but he was the one that really, I love his video, so I want to replicate that. So this is all his idea, all his whatever. So yeah, but and I love that video, and just, I didn't know how to do any of that stuff, like to edit or do any of that, so I was definitely proud of the 2 videos, but I'm not proud of it as I am now. And especially after doing the Brave series, where I'm super proud of that video. I really, really like it. It's unfortunate that it got hit with so much copyright. And who knows, this video might get hit with a bunch of copyright, but I'm going to make it to where you guys can at least watch it. But it's, I wanted to be just as proud of this video as the Brave video, because they're like brothers, just like the series is alone. But I was already planning on what I wanted to do for this video back when I started it, like back way when I started it, when I was just watching the first couple of shows for it, was I wanted to watch like Machine Robo, like the GoBot show. GoBot show, not really, in Japan. I wanted to watch all the Brave shows to rank them with the Transformers shows, to see how they're, not really competitors. Obviously the Machine Robo was their competitors, but more like I even had it written down that I was going to add the Brave shows with the Transformers shows to compare how their cousins basically were going to face up against the Transformers. But obviously that fell through. I just didn't want to do that. I was just like, just the Transformers shows. I watched Jay Decker and I was like, whatever, I'm just going to do just the Brave shows. But, and the fact that the Brave show's video is really really nicely put together, I wanted to do that for this video. I wanted to give it that justice that I wanted to give it so long ago, but just wasn't able to because of my lack of knowledge. So I had a blast redoing this, just seeing my opinions, how they really haven't changed, and that I probably could have just rewatched the entire video and then remade it, but I wanted to keep my reactions and opinions genuine of the time and just revamp it, shine it up a little. So yeah, I had a blast doing this, and I hope you enjoy it because I sure enjoyed it, and I'm really happy with it. So that's really all I have to say. So till next time, see ya.